So we were really excited for Daredevil 2, and we finally got it in our hands after burning it once already. Daredevil fights Captain America. It is a fantastic fight. Probably one of the coolest fights I've ever seen in a comic book, especially because of the art. The entire thing's kind of like draped in this hot pink, and I like pink. So
that's not a surprise.
Yeah,
I'm not going to laugh about that.
Okay. So either way, what makes the fight so cool is that they switch weapons. At some point, Captain America winds up with his little batons, and...
Batons?
What
if anything, I would call them nunchucks. He has a staff, like an old man's staff, because he's blind.
That's true.
Breaks it off into a nunchuck, and then he flies around with nunchucks.
It kind of spreads
awesome.
really far apart, though, so I didn't think it was kind of like a nunchuck.
You calling them batons just put Daredevil on like, the ultimate wussy ladder of superheroes everywhere.
Well, most of his comic is draped in pink.
That's fine, but I mean...
don't get me wrong, I like pink.
So you're saying the comic was great, but now you're pissing all over Daredevil. You are literally taking a big dump all over Daredevil.
Okay, fine. I take it all. I take it all back. The comic was really good, but it was really cool to see Daredevil fighting with Captain America's shield.
Why would they get into a fight anyway?
Well, there's some thing that went like beef. I'm sorry. There's some beef between Captain America and Daredevil because something with a case with Bucky, which I'm gonna admit right now I didn't read that, so I'm kind of lost. If you don't know what happened there, you're gonna be a little confused going into Daredevil.
Just like he was while reading this entire book.
Yes.
All right, well, I read Batman, and like, Batman's over. Batman Arkham City, the comic, the 5-set, it's finally done. This comic, actually, it was good, but it's a cliffhanger because they're just psyching you up for the video game. We've been repeating that over and over again. This comic is solely for Hugo Strange.
That cover's amazing.
The cover's good, the art's good, and we see Batman, take the stage as Bruce Wayne and try to call him out. Hugo Strange and Mayor Sharp are like best friends and pals till the death. And they go on TV and basically go, Arkham City is #1. And Bruce Wayne's like, no, it's not. And then Hugo Strange has this monologue where we see the Penguin, Two-Face, the Joker, Poison Ivy. We actually see the Riddler. And the Riddler looks really cool. He just looks like this little scrawny white dude in a blazer. But it's the only time we've seen him.
Nothing like Jim Carrey?
Nothing like Jim Carrey. That's cool. Well, I liked Jim Carrey.
I do too, but I mean...
Then, what? Way to go. Way to be.
I'm just glad they were trying to be different. I didn't want to see Jim Carrey again, as much as I liked him.
I would totally be down for some Mr. Popper's Penguins in Batman Arkham City. Okay. Alright, well anyway, it's over now. So Hugo Strange lets Batman in, he basically invites him again because he's been in and out a few times. And he sets the stage for all the rival gangs, like Penguin's got a gang, Joker's got a gang. Now we knew this, but we're just pumped because Hugo Strange is basically laying his cards out on the table. But now we gotta wait until October to play the game.
So Megaman issue 4 finally came out. It's a really cool issue because he finally gets into Wily's castle and he goes up against the Yellow Demon, who he beats in only 3 pages, where it took me like 3 years to beat him.
Yeah, it took me a long time too. That's the guy that goes from one side of the screen to the other, and you gotta time the jumps and stuff.
I actually can't remember. I know you have to shoot him in the eye and blow away the blob stuff, which he does in the comics. So that's cool, reference to the game.
But what's the deal with the cover? Because when you pick this up, I see Creeper Little Mega Man with the red eyeball, like Twilight Mega Man. I don't remember that guy ever being in any of these.
Well, he's kind of like an evil version of Mega Man that Dr. Wily summons, but how he dies is really stupid because in the middle of this issue,
I guess he dies, huh?
He does die, but Mega Man doesn't kill him. In the middle of this issue, he befriends the 6 other robot masters, and Cutman was all like, "Guys, we should cut out the fighting," which is the worst joke I've ever read in a comic book. And then they all team up and they beat the evil Mega Man and they go on to arrest Dr. Wily. It was a big letdown. Because that didn't happen in the games at all.
That's awesome. Mega Man just basically proves that diplomacy is always an option.
Yeah.
You know it was a million times better than that? That took like 4 months to come out. Thanks a lot, Mark. The guy is a genius, but he takes his damn time releasing everything. Kick-Ass 2 Issue 3 finally came out. Kick-Ass is one of my favorite series ever. So this goes on to talk about Justice Forever. Justice Forever is the 12-member team roaming around New York City that basically beats the crap out of everybody that they think is doing wrong. They also go and do soup kitchens. They do blood drives. They help drunk people get home. Basically, this comic's always been balls to the wall. So when we read Flashpoint or Mega Man or anything like that, it's like fairies, like little evil Mega Mans and diplomacy in action. Well, this is just like kick everybody's ass, and the end of this issue is one of the most depressing things I've read. Justice Forever takes a huge blow, and we haven't read issue 2 in like 3 months, so we were kind of looking forward to it. It was just such a downer. The Red Mist comes back. If you've seen the movie, remember McLovin? Well, McLovin is back, and I don't even think we can show you the last panel because of how gruesome it is. But let's just say one of the Justice guys takes a really big hit, and he becomes one with a dog. He becomes one with a dog. Think of it as a riddle. Pick it up. Becomes one with a dog.
I didn't read that. That sounds disturbing.
He becomes one.
Can I see it?
With the dog.
Oh my god!
Holy